Today we'll be reacting to the abuse of the N-word for clout. Video by 4D Shams.
Would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
I do.
Are you sure about that?
Ooh.
In this video, I wrote out a bunch of words. I said that this girl is naturally intelligent, gorgeous, generous, exemplary, and radiant. And the first letter of all of those words spells out the word nigger. That does not make me racist. That makes me somebody who is trying to say, hey, how about, here's an idea, we reclaim that word?
So who's gonna tell her? You're a little bit late there, lady. Like several decades late. We've already reclaimed the word, and we've turned it into a term of endearment. That's why we say the version that has the A at the end instead of the R. And sure, your heart might have been in the right place, albeit very ignorant and uninformed place. But before you decided to click that button to post this video, you didn't think that maybe this is a little bit crazy? A little bit insensitive? Maybe it's not my place to be saying all this? I don't know, man. That's just food for thought. If you're a black person, I'm sure you've been in this situation before.
Man, every black person has been in this situation, one way or the other. Once you're in a community of other races, you're gonna notice it real quick, right? Obviously, this vegan teacher we're talking about, that lady is not, she ain't got no sense. But it happens to all of us.
You're talking to a non-black person, maybe you met them for the first time, they're introducing themselves. The conversation is going amazing, splendid, swell even. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they drop the N-word.
Oh.
They look at you, you look at them, they look at you, then you look at them. There's always that awkward little pause where they look you dead in your eyes. They're looking straight into your soul. They want to see, are you gonna react? Are you gonna crash out? And mind you, as soon as they say the N-word, they automatically turn on fight or flight. Because they know they're taking a risk. And it's really gonna be two options. One, they're gonna be able to continue using this word, which they know has a lot of history behind it and is offensive to a whole group of people. A word which they can easily take out of their vocabulary with just a little bit of effort. And two, they're probably gonna get into an altercation which they most likely will lose, because I don't know what it is. When people drop that N-bomb on black people, we get like an extra boost of strength. I promise you. I've seen so many videos of fights that broke out because someone used the N-word, and I'm telling you, every single time the black
Man, actually, you know what's crazy? So that was how one night I was out, right? And I was out like downtown. Like usually, right, the city I was in that time, right? There were not too many black people. So, being black was kind of like a special thing. And if you've been in those kind of environments, it makes you understand that those things will happen likely. And I remember I was walking out, right? And I see this one dude, right, knocked out. He's like dead flat on the floor. Right? And I'm like, yo, what the hell, happened, And like people are kind of gathered around, there's people looking at things and stuff like that. And like I'm in the, situation, and I'm asking one random NPC, yo, what happened here? This was that, he saw a black guy and he said the N-word.
Are you sure about that?
I'm like, oh, he did. He's like, yeah, and then the black guy goes, say it again. Say it again. Dude says it again, and he gets like knocked out. He's flat on the ground. And like, if I remember, one thing I remember was like cops and ambulance come out, right? As they come out, I realized I was the only black dude in the scenario. So in my head, I was thinking, oh shit, they will probably look at me and be like, is this the dude? So I was like, shit, let me get out of there, right? So yeah, that was the story.
Black person has won. Now I'm sure there's probably a video out there on the internet where a black person has lost, but I'm just saying it's very unlikely. A lot of us will crash out over that word, and we'll take it there. I remember back in the day when people would drop the N-word, they would make it seem like it was a complete accident, as if they never used it in private, and it was definitely not something that they would say when no one was around. And then we probably get this class act performative video of them apologizing and how it was just in the heat of the moment, and they blurted it out. It was just a complete accident. They usually sound a little something like this.
It was something that I said in the heat of the moment. It just sort of slipped out. And I'm not gonna make any excuses to why it did.
Are you sure about that?
There are no excuses for it.
It's because you say it on your own time. When no one's watching, you go and you get your reps in.
I'm disappointed in myself because it seems like I've learned nothing from all these past controversies. And it's not that I think I can say or do whatever I want and get away with it. That's not it at all.
Actually, that's exactly what he thinks. Mind you, the same YouTuber went.
Most of these people get away with it, you know, they say it and then they apologize and they're good to go. You know, sure, I've been racist for, you know, they'll say like I've been racist for like few seconds and I apologize and I'm good. They actually don't do shit at the end of the day and they can still say it again. They don't know why, like, you know, it's bad. So they're just apologizing because they don't want to get cancelled, right?
And made rating YouTuber apology videos video. And he included himself in there. PewDiePie. Brief intermission, make sure you subscribe to my reaction channel. It's linked in the description. Love y'all.
Time for me to review YouTuber apologies. That's right. For some reason, I thought this was a good idea. You know, I made a few apology videos. Just a few of them. Just a couple. So I feel like I have the basics.
So this is the thing that he constantly does. He's not new to making these mistakes and then hopping online and posting an apology video. And what do you know?
This is why I never liked PewDiePie. Nah, this is why I never liked PewDiePie. I didn't understand why he was like followed for the most of YouTube back then, but oh my god, it's crazy.
No, it works every time, so why stop? Am I right?
Makes the perfect YouTube apology video. You need to start off with a sign.
No way this guy made a YouTube apology video guideline.
Your audience immediately that this is a heavy video to make and it's an extreme burden on your shoulders. And there's no better way to do that but with a sign. Number 2, what you want to do is shift blame. Never
Are you
take
sure about that?
responsibility.
Yo, this is unreal.
Rule number 3, play the victim. Want to make sure that people know that this.
Wow. I'm so disappointed in society, man.
This has been a great inconvenience to you. You might want to bring up something like, I'm getting cyberbullied.
His entire community has decided to cyberbully me.
Or if you're in deep trouble, what you want to do is you want to bring in death threats. That's an effective way to just diminish every other criticism. Excuse me.
It's the fact that he's actually like, and I bet with you, so many creators are probably like taking this guide and like learnt from it. Because it's gonna work, right? He's gonna work, I'm just gonna hold him accountable. This shit actually would work.
I'm getting death threats, okay? Oh, I messed up?
Bro, he is giving us the whole playbook.
Oh, well, a few selected people have decided to send mean comments to me. So, I think your point is invalid.
But see, that right there was a past era. In today's day and age, we got people proudly using the N-word. And I don't know what's emboldened people so much to just want to use that word and antagonize a whole group of people. But that's the reality we live in now. We have a slew of content creators who are literally monetizing racism. They know the shock value and engagement that saying things like the N-word or being racist brings, so they intentionally do it.
You get a lot of black viewers on here? Like, can you see?
Oh, none.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't even think my show... I think my show audience is so racist that it doesn't even have the possibility that if it got posted on a clip or it could just be seen by anybody, I still don't think they'd see it.
Yeah. So we can get a little racist here.
If you're not racist, you're gonna lose my audience's support.
I mean, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. And keep
Yo,
in mind,
that's
these are
crazy.
guys with big platforms, so they have a whole audience that supports this behavior.
So even off camera here, that's not just a joke.
No, I'm a racist.
Oh, you are. I'm racist to everybody. So that's not doesn't mean you're racist.
I'm not racist to everybody. I pick and choose.
Okay, I'm done.
Blacks and Jews, it rhymes.
And it
What
just
the
keeps getting
fuck?
worse.
All right, guys, I'm here to address all the allegations. Yes, I said it. No, I don't give a fuck, and I am going to say it again.
And I mean, if we just take a quick glance at the comments, you can tell that there's a bunch of people out there supporting this behavior.
Finally,
Like
someone that
TJ
doesn't let
is a
social media
Finally,
control
someone
them.
who doesn't let social media control them. 68,000 likes. Can't be
Dang.
canceled if you don't care, by the way. 73,000 likes. Wow,
Dang.
you're so cool. Best apology of all time. We need more people like you for real. Finally, someone standing on business. That's my mentor. I like this guy. That was such a beautiful speech. I am crying right now.
Everyone wants me to buy the Conigger's egg, and bro, you guys love saying TJR, you're not black, you're not black, TJR, you can't say the N-word. I have 2 things to tell you. Number 1. Number 2. Thank you very much.
I guess you can say it then. I guess you can say
Are
it.
you sure about that?
I'm sure right now. Dang.
I'll be saving this for later.
One of the
Wow.
saddest things about this whole situation is that a lot of these content creators have a considerable amount of black fans. So just imagine how betrayed they feel.
Gonna say it, I guess I gotta be the one to say it. TJR, bro, we love you. We watch your content, we mess with you, bro. You gotta stop. You know what I'm talking about. You gotta chill, bro. It's a little too much now. I done seen too many clips with you doing it, bro. Like, it's all love. You twin, you know what I'm saying? It's cool, but bro, you gotta chill. Like, it's too much now. Cause the community is
Man.
not liking it, bro. But we rock with you, so this is just us telling you, like, all right, bro, like, we kick it with you, but you just gotta relax.
And I ain't never rock with anybody that much to just let them blatantly disrespect me to my face like that.
Facts.
Now, some of you guys might be thinking, what do you expect from these out-of-touch white people? Their actions seem very on brand. Well, it's not just white people. We also have people who came up around black people. They're familiar with the community and the culture, but they're still okay with saying things like this.
You're from the South. Obviously, you grew up a different kind of way. Do you feel like you could say the N-word?
I feel like I can say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I wish there was some black dudes in here.
There are. Will is right there.
And there's one right here. Not.
Okay, well, we're gonna use him. What the fuck are you gonna do about it, you know?
That is such a crazy statement to say in a room full of black people. And I know some of you guys are probably thinking, oh, at least he stood 10 toes down and he didn't get scared because there were black men in that room. First of all, I don't know if he would have had the guts to say all that if he was in a room full of black men who were about that life. Yes, they said there were black men in that room, but I mean, this seems like a pretty established podcast, and I doubt the black men working there are involved in street life or are thugs by any means. And the second point I'd like to make is that it's crazy to me that he said a statement like that in a room full of black people, and then a couple seconds after, basically.
I'm not gonna lie. I do always think when people say the word to me, it's a case of they're trying to see if I'll do something about it, if I'll get triggered about it. And usually, right, when you think about people want to trigger you, I don't get triggered by it, right? Because it makes you think, oh, so all you have to do is say a word and I have to get mad. That doesn't make any sense, right? So I don't get triggered by it, you know. Of course, there's other things that can trigger me, but when somebody just says the word, and sometimes you can tell when somebody is like being racist and when they're just trying to see if they can trigger you. That's my view.
He claimed that he loves black people and he even has black family.
And then second of all, I grew up loving these motherfuckers. I grew up fighting with them. I grew up eating with them. I grew up fucking doing bad shit with them. I grew up loving with them. You know, I got family. It's not even about family. Even if I wasn't related to nobody out black, it's what the fuck I was surrounded by, you know?
I think for a lot of people, there's a mixture of shock and awe because he stood his ground in a room full of black people. But I personally find it sad. You're openly disrespecting a group of people to their face. On top of that, it's on a podcast that has global reach. And you're so emboldened by this thug mentality that you would say something like this, knowing the history behind that word, and still claim to love black people. And this guy, Mexican OT, isn't the first to make a statement like this. Before
Most of them don't know the history. The people that, you know, have the privileges are invisible to see, like, you know, the problem, right? If you're not a black person, you might know they understand, you might get it, right? But in most cases, some of them don't get it. That's why they still diss it out. If he's dissing it out, he doesn't get it.
the rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine made a similar statement.
People seem to have a problem with you saying because they say a Mexican should not be using the word.
Bro, who gonna stop me? Who? Like, that's, I can see those comments all the time. Who? I can say it. Like, who gonna?
Man, I could name a couple of people that gotta stop him. But again, after you realize he's not lying, right? If he says it in his room, if he's texting it, like, nobody's gonna come to his room and beat his ass for saying it, right? The only thing you could do most times is try and like make headlines of, oh, this guy said it, this word. But after some time, they bounce back. It's crazy world we live in.
Stop me. It's the way I grew up. It's my culture. I grew up in Bushwick, Brooklyn. It's my vocabulary. It's the way I talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like y'all all from New York. You probably went to school around. How many Spanish kids walk around like, yeah, my nigga's popping? Like,
no, everybody does.
Everybody does. So don't make it Fat Joe says it. I'm not Post Malone. I'm saying nigga. I could say nigga.
6ix9ine literally gave himself the N-word pass. But back to the Mexican OT interview.
But if you're from where I'm from or anywhere, what the fuck fuck are you gonna do about it? It's like I done went to the jungle and earned the lion's head. You know, and I'll dominate anywhere.
I done went to the jungle and earned the lion's head. The N-word was never something you could earn. It was never an option for you. And I know there's gonna be people in my comments that are gonna say, oh, it's because of where he was raised and this place.
Yeah. We expecting comments like that. It's most times you could literally see the snowest, the whitest of snows, and they come out and be like, N-word this, N-word that. You know, they don't say N-word this, they say nigga, right? And like they say it and they say it and they say it, and it's like, come on. We know. And then if you point it out, they're like, oh, but my dad is black, my cousin is black, my friend is black, so that means I am black.
Are you sure about that?
No, you ain't black.
This is normal. And I know there's gonna be some raccoon black people out there who agree with this mentality, but I'm sorry, even if you're black, we're not gonna see eye to eye on this. Because even if it was a small population of the black community who thought it wasn't okay to say the N-word, which it's not, by the way, they would still be in the right. Because just because another portion of the community doesn't think it's that deep or doesn't find a problem with it, that doesn't invalidate how the portion of the group that does think it's a problem feel. And you'll never be.
It's gonna be a problem. It's definitely gonna be a problem, but you also have to look at it like the people that try and say those words. There's a reason why they say what's going to happen, right? There's a reason why they say all that. Like, it's not every single time somebody says a word we get triggered and we start like trying to violently beat them. You could educate them, but that person has already passed that stage of trying to learn why it's not a good thing.
Be able to convince me that it's not that big of a deal, especially when I'm having negative experiences with it in my present day life. For example, like my 5-year-old nephew going to the park to play with kids and then getting called the N-word hard R by older kids and their parents. Imagine doing that to a 5-year-old kid. And this happened like 2 months prior. It's not something that happened like years ago. People know the significance of that word. They know the negative.
Nah, but I ain't gonna lie, like I would probably like I could beat somebody up if they made my kid feel like racism. Because again, it's like why they leave the little kids out of it, leave the children out of this. Let the adults deal with the adult stuff, right?
Connotations that come with it. That's why when a non-black person gets into it with a black person, the first thing they do is pull out the N-word. Because everyone knows the weight and the negativity that comes behind that word. But some people try to gaslight the black community and try to make it seem like it's not that big of a deal. You know, it's not that deep, it's just the word. That stuff happened so long ago. Why is this guy so uptight, bruh? It's just the word. And then those same people will turn around when they have a negative experience with a black person. The first word they want to use is the N-word. Hard R too. You don't see how you're contradicting yourself? So is it that deep or is it not that deep? And the one thing that always comes to mind when it comes to cases like these is where do we draw the line? Because sure, there's a lot of
Again, like I said, right? It's the way the people that say these words, they usually know that it's not. They know it's not good. That's why they always looking for a reaction. They're always like, "Oh, nigga, this." Like, what you gonna do? Right? That's what they're usually looking for. Are you going to be cool with them saying it so they know like nothing's going to happen to them? Or are they going to like have to fight you? Or you're going to fight them, right? And if they know just saying a word can make you triggered, that shit is going to put you in so much fucking trouble. Shouldn't have sweat. But yeah, like it'll put you in trouble. So that's what I mean by like, dang, like it's also like being a black person is a very confused situation because you kind of have to like look at it like this person is low-key disrespecting me. But then you also have to be like, you can't now because if you overreact, right? In certain situations, it makes sense to overreact. In certain situations, you look very like dumb or easily manipulated if you overreact. Because some more people could just say it and see what will happen. And people now know that, oh, they want to trigger you, they know it's just a word away, and that's it.
people that think the N-word is just a word. But if you become desensitized to that, what's the next thing you're gonna become desensitized to? I mean, our president literally wants to replace PBS with shows like this that desensitize little kids to slavery.
I'm sorry, Mr. Columbus, but I heard at school that you spoiled paradise and you brought slavery and murder to peaceful people.
The Caribs, who are vicious, warring cannibals.
Cannibals? Like they
eat people, see.
Whoa.
Right? Hey, all the things that are bad in the world I come from, jealousy, lying, murder, war, It all exists in the land I just found too. But in Europe, we draw the line at things like eating people and human sacrifice.
Yeah, but what about slavery? You didn't deny that.
Deny? No. Slavery is as old as time and has taken place in every corner of the world, even amongst the people I just left. Being taken as a slave is better than being killed, no? I don't see the problem.
Imagine little kids
Are you
not
sure
seeing
about
a
that?
problem with slavery. Not gonna lie.
Yo, that is actually fucked up. Yo, that's actually fucked up. And this is what I put in the kitchens. And now my kid, I gotta watch all my children. I gotta check out what they're watching before they watch it.
The generation raised on those cartoons is gonna be completely cooked. But
Yeah,
I believe that for the
100%.
future me to address. Because we have more pressing issues today. Like this white woman who basically admitted that she intentionally used the N-word because she knew it was gonna go viral and possibly put her in a position where she can become financially free and quit her job. She ended up getting fired, by the way.
Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke ass niggas.
But although she was fired, unfortunately,
It's the way it just slides through, right? I wasn't even expecting it to just slide through like that. It just went. I wasn't, dang, that's crazy.
seems like her plan low-key did work because she definitely got the clout that she was looking for.
I mean, would you use the N-word?
Look at it this way. Look at it this way. In this world, right? If it's negative, it can trend more than even if it's positive. No one wants to. There's a reason why you click a video on why I hate Mr. Beast rather than why I like Mr. Beast. And I'm using Mr. Beast just because of, he's one of the top most watched people on YouTube, right? And he understands this whole algorithm thing. This lady knows people comment, people would like trigger the engagement because people will be shocked, right? Shock value makes people like act. And then they will say stuff, right? And that was just like, that's probably what she wanted for the attention. She's literally, man, we're literally watching a video of her on YouTube and we know her because of she said this word. We know her as the N-word lady, basically.
Out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
I do, quite frankly.
You use
Are
the
you
N-word
sure about that?
frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist, I'm a neo-Nazi,
Yeah, well, if you use the N-word repeatedly, you are a racist then, are you? Are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means supporting, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendrix is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away.
And just FYI, Shiloh Hendrix is the white woman who called the little kid the N-word at the park. After the clip went viral, her life kind of got flipped upside down, and then a bunch of racists grouped together to make $1 million fundraiser for her, which from last I heard seemed like it was pretty successful.
So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter, that's a different
Sorry, but just to be
thing.
clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be?
If it's appropriate.
When she doesn't think she's gonna get her shit rocked.
Yeah.
When would it be appropriate?
Yeah, when would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you just
Man, what the
so you're an unashamed racist.
shit? Facts.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
It's so funny that she uses the excuse that she's trying to achieve true freedom of speech for white people. What significant role does you being able to say the N-word play in your freedom of speech? Like, even let's say you were critical of a lot of things that happen in the black community. You disliked a lot of things that black people do, which, it seems to be the case with this lady because she just admitted to being a racist. Sure, it's within your freedom of speech to call it out. Why can't you just address the issues that you find with the community without antagonizing the people themselves? Do you genuinely have a problem with
Because certain white people are very stupid. I'll say it. They ain't that smart.
things that the black community does? Or are you rage baiting, trying to garner more clout? But I'll leave that up for you guys to decide. Look, my whole point of making this video isn't to police every non-black person who uses the N-word, because obviously just my efforts alone might not be enough. But I definitely have to call attention to the way that non-black people are abusing this word. And obviously I expect this type of behavior from racist white people, but it kind of sucks seeing it from other minorities who throughout history have been called their own version of derogatory term. And for all the people who say, oh, I grew up hearing this is how I grew up, we grew up saying this, I grew up here, where I come from, it's okay to say this. I understand. I know when it comes to a term like the N-word that's been so popularized in media, for example, like rap songs, movies, and just in the hood in general, I know that it can be hard to stop saying it, especially if you grew up saying it from a really young age and you were never taught otherwise. Now, of course, whether or not you decide to stop saying it, that's totally up to you. But at least don't try to antagonize black people and embolden yourself and try to be like, oh, I'ma say it and what are you gonna do? Especially if you know the history and the hurt that comes behind the word. That just makes you seem super insensitive and honestly like a dickhead. And I'm just gonna be the one to say it. A lot of times the justifications that people have for using the N-word are just excuses. There are plenty of non-black people out there who grew up in the hood, grew up around black people who use the N-word, listen to rap music, heard the N-word plenty of times in rap music videos, movies, you name it, but they still don't use the N-word. A perfect example.
Respect to them. Respect to them. If you're a non-black person that doesn't use the N-word, keep it that way. You know, you respect the minority group, you respect them, what black people have gone through in the past, and we appreciate you guys for actually respecting that. You guys are chill.
Example of that is a Mexican rapper called Lefty Gunplay. Now, I'm not sure how much he lives by these words. He might have used the N-word before. He might still use it today every now and then. But at least he has the right mentality.
So I'm not black, I'm Mexican, you know what I'm saying? I'm an essay, so I'm not gonna say that. I don't talk like that, so I'm not gonna fake the fun. It's cool to talk like that, I guess it rhymes with certain shit, but nah, not for me, dog. Instead of saying young whatever, I'm gonna say young essay with a guate, you know what I'm saying? I'll turn it on. It's the freshest essay with a guate. I don't have to say the N-word. Shout out to the blacks, man, but I don't talk like that, and I hope they respect that, 'cause I don't hear the blacks saying vato, essay, on everything, like, you know what I'm saying? Because if they did, I'll be like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I really would.
Just that little bit of respect goes a long way. And I mean, even the people in the comments are agreeing and supporting his message. The smartest words I've heard him say, real Mex don't say that shit. I work at a high school, the Mexican kids use the N-word more than the black kids nowadays. That's crazy. I miss when Mexicans used to talk like that. They sounded so cool. He has a strong point. I say vato and essay, but as I shouldn't say the N-word. I don't understand how this is hard for our people to comprehend. That word shouldn't be used by anybody in the Mexican community. And thank you to non-black content creators like Eddie Marquez who are speaking up about this and being a voice for the black community.
Latinos and Hispanics, more specifically non-black Latinos and Hispanics, will pretend that the N-word is not offensive, but then get offended by being called something like Latinx. Non-black Latinos will pretend that the N-word is not offensive, but then get offended when you ask them to not use the N-word. A common thing that you'll hear Latinos say when they're called out for using the N-word is, well, if I can't use it, they can't use it either. They referring to black people. And that begs the question, why do you want to say it so much? Latinos, you have so many alternatives to use. Latinos have a whole other language of words that they can use instead of the N-word, like fu, ese, whatever you want. But instead you choose the N-word. And it's one thing to use the N-word and then change your language when somebody tells you it's not okay. It's another thing to defend your use of the N-word because you're too lazy to expand your vocabulary. And a lot of Latinos will go on and say, well, it's not that big a deal, you know? I have black friends and I say it around them and they don't mind. And that's fine.
Just because you got black friends that don't mind doesn't mean it's actually cool to still say it in general, especially when you meet somebody that's like you meet somebody that is black that's not your friend, that person could actually beat the hell out of you. It's not just cool. You have to understand why it's not cool.
Sure, if your black friends are okay with you saying that, that's them. But let's be honest. If you are a non-black person using the N-word, you are very careful with who you use that word around. Because you know that the moment you use it around the wrong person,
they're gonna beat you.
Checked, and it won't be as nice as somebody telling you to not use the word anymore. Let's stop playing dumb. I heard somebody say that if we can't use the N-word, then black people can't eat tacos. As if eating some culture's culinary items is the equivalent of using a racial derogatory slur that was meant to dehumanize people. It is not the same. It is not an equivalency. Don't play dumb, because the moment you try to defend your use of the N-word and you are non-black, all you do is let other people know that you aren't playing. You're just actually dumb.
And look, I'm not trying to antagonize anyone by making this video. If that's what you got from this video, then the message obviously went over your head. But someone has to draw that line. Someone needs to call things out when they're just not right. For all the non-black people out there, please don't think that us saying, oh, please don't use the N-word, is us trying to infringe on your freedom of speech. This shouldn't be one of those things where you feel like you gotta be all macho and be like, oh, I'm gonna say what the fuck I want, and what are you gonna do about it? This is simply about respect for your fellow human beings. You obviously know there's a bunch of history and hurt behind that word, so for you to intentionally keep on using it just looks bad on your part. And no, if you're wondering if someone uses the N-word in front of me, I'm not about to crash out or give them this long lecture. Alright, I might lecture them once if they seem like they're willing to listen. But one thing I'm definitely not gonna do is crash out. And for all my fellow black people, I also think you guys should stop crashing.
Y'all should stop crashing out. You know? I guess we're getting to the end of the video.
And just remove the power that people think that word has over us. Just like we changed the meaning and intention behind the word by changing the R to an A, we can also learn to control our emotions so that that word loses all power over us. But with that being said, if you made...
Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Make sure to like, comment what you'd like me to react to next, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.